Hello, JEFCOED family. We're getting closer and closer to the time to begin school. September 1 is the first day. Guys, we want to make sure that as we begin this school year that we're prepared. So with that said, the district has put us in a position where we have enough professional development days so that we could take time to ensure that we have embraced Schoology, that you can practice it, you can ask questions about it, you can begin to develop all of your lessons. So what I expect is within the next couple of days, we have several school professional development days. I want to ensure that you use this time to get familiar with Schoology, to be prepared, so that when that first day comes, guys, we are ready to roll. You know, I've been watching all of the other school districts that have started last week, the week before, and some are starting this week. We're in a situation, guys, that we have to be prepared. And that's why we have these days for you guys. Now, the other thing that I want to talk to you about just real quickly is I want to talk about safety, which is our priority. And then right after safety is educational opportunities, okay? Now, we've had several cases over the last week or so in which people were exposed, people are quarantined, and people have tested positive. We want to ensure that everyone stays safe. We know that people will test positive, guys, but we have to do our part. We have to make sure that we wear masks. We have to make sure that we social distance. And we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we have everyone in a closed quarters or closed space, because the rules are changing. You know, last week I think I learned about the 615 rule, and whether you have, you know, a mask on or not. If you're within a 6 feet area and for longer than 15 minutes, then, I mean, that affects everyone. I want you to keep this in mind so that we can be smart, so that as this school year starts and as we go along, we ensure that we are ready to teach our children, but we are safe as well. So with that stated, guys, I thought it would be you know, very good for us a good idea for us to have some of my friends come up from the nursing department, Miss Underwood and Miss Hefner, so that they can talk to us about some of those updates. Again, September 1st is when the first day of school starts. I want you to take this thing with Schoology, and I want you to master it, guys, so that we can show the quality of work that we give for our students and the quality of care. At this time, guys, I'm going to turn it over to my friends, Mrs. Underwood and Mrs. Hefner, so that they can update you on all of the issues and guidelines that we have in order to keep us safe. Mrs. Underwood.
Hello, Jefferson County School family. I wanted to take a moment and go over with you the JEFCOED guidelines for COVID-19 that we have established. These are based on the CDC guidelines as well as the ADPH guidelines. Every employee or faculty and staff should have received a copy of these guidelines and should have signed for those from your administrator. If you have not done so, please see your administrator. Things are changing daily. We have been on WebExes with ADPH, which is the health department, as well as CDC, getting the latest guidelines and how to keep us all safe. I want to go over some specifics of the guidelines and things that employees should be doing before returning to work each day. You should ask yourself, how are you feeling? Do you have a fever? Do you have a sore throat? Do you have a new onset of cough or loss of taste or of smell? If you have had any of these symptoms, then you will need to not report to work that day. You also need to take your temperature before coming to work. And if you have a fever over 100, then you need to not report to work. You need to see your physician and follow their guidelines. Also, if anyone has been tested for COVID-19, you do not need to return to campus until those results are received. You would need to self-report that to your administrator, and then they would contact Kristen Hefner or myself for guidance. It's very important that we do our part in keeping us safe during this time, as well as our students. We have this time to practice before students return to campus so that we can make this our new normal. We are social people by fault. and that does not change during this time, but we have to make education and awareness part of our routine. Kristen will go over with you specific things about face masks and about the 6:15 rule. It's very important that we all follow the social distancing or 6:15 rule at this time.
Hello, Jefferson County family. Our best offense against fighting the spread of COVID-19 in our schools is a good defense. The ways we are employing our defense is we are going to participate in the 6:15 rule, wearing a face mask, and washing our hands diligently. The 6:15 rule is make sure we're maintaining 6 feet apart for less than 15 minutes throughout the day. The 15 minutes is cumulative, so make sure you're keeping track as you go through your day. In addition to maintaining our distance with the 6:15 rule, we will be diligent in wearing our masks throughout the day. We need to be sure we're wearing them when we're in the hallways, associating with other people, while still maintaining our distance. Be sure that your mask covers your nose and your mouth and is fitted properly to your face. You can wear a face shield, but the most appropriate method of reducing transmission is a mask. In addition to those 2 steps, we want to make sure we're washing our hands every chance we get. When you go outside, when you touch your face, when you eat a meal, when you use the restroom, make sure you're washing your hands for at least 20 seconds at a time. If you do not have access to running water, be sure to use hand sanitizer to cleanse your hands as well. Let's review the proper way to wear a mask. Make sure it's fitted securely to your head, covering your mouth and your nose. Try to touch it as little as you can throughout the day, being diligent to keep your hands down and your hands away from your face. We are all in this together.